Hello, hello. It's JJ here. I'm so honored to be with you live. I was supposed to have Alara with me today, but like many people we know, she is caught a flu bug of some sort. So I'm super excited to spend this time with you and look forward to bringing her back at another time. I'd love to bring you up to speed on some of the energy work I've been doing. There's so many great practitioners in my life and in my community together we seek, and I have been doing some serious energy work myself. As many of you know, we had an amazing retreat just about 2 weeks ago now called Build Your Vision. And it was amazing because I partnered with Anetta and we had sound worker, light worker. We had the tribal land in Vermilion that supported us as we shifted. And it has just been an amazing experience to bring people together on that land in such a healing space to work through energy that is no longer serving you in these great containers. So we're going to be booking several more retreats in 2024. And I'm just starting to work with different retreat leaders. And Inside Together We Seek dot online is where I'm starting to bring retreat leaders together to decide what makes sense. How are we going to get together, putting together new ways of bringing women and practitioners together by the lake, which I believe is a portal. So I'm pretty excited about that. But personally, I've been doing some work myself, and hopefully you have too. As we start the new year, it's an interesting time to really start to figure out what am I going to throw my energy at this year? What am I going to let go of? What am I going to explore? And who am I going to do that with? I think for many of us, we often just start the year running forward with what we have been doing. And sometimes you just need to take a break and say, okay, let me just kind of sort out what I've been throwing my energy at, who I've been working with, what I've been doing, and where I'm going. And I think for many of us, this is not always easy because we get into these patterns. And for me, I generally sign up for online classes or online groups to kind of shake up my energy and think about things differently. So, with that, I've been reading some amazing books on Audible. I put all my books up on Goodread if you want to see all the spiritual books I read. But for me, I did a lot of Esther Hicks in 2023. I also read quite a bit about some channelers like Dolores Cannon and Jane, who channels many different energies. And I have to say, like, I'm really shifting the way I'm thinking. I'm really realizing even more than I've done before that life is happening for me. And everything that crosses my path has a message or a lesson. And I think for many of us, it's amazing if you can really get in the present moment. And I'm taking an amazing channeling class with my friend Julia Harrell. And she really talks and has taught me how to like be inside my head because I have been focusing so much outward, so much on where I'm going that my energy was sitting outside of me, in front of me. And that's not a super powerful place to be because you're detached from your humanness. You're detached from the energy that resides in your human body. And it really gives you a much better focal point if you really get yourself in your head in a way that gives you the ability to scan what's happening in all directions, not really allowing you to get too far ahead of yourself. Because for what I've learned over the last 8 years is that being in the present moment is what's absolutely necessary to see the wisdom, to see the gifts, to see the lessons, and to hear the whispers. And for me, it's taken some practice to get in that present moment. And so I've done some channeling work with two different people. Allison Holly, which she is on the YouTube channel, and I'll tag that. But she does some just beautiful light work, and her channeling class is fabulous. I did that at the end of 2023, and now I'm taking a channeling class with Julia, and I'll also tag her. But it's been really great for me because it has created space in my schedule to practice being in the present moment, to practice listening, feeling, seeing, hearing, connecting. And I think for so many of us, we are conditioned to get out there, get ahead of everybody, get ahead of what you're doing, look around corners. And I think that served me for the first couple decades. But in reality, I needed to get back into my head, get connected in the present moment so that I could be fully aware of what is coming my way. And I think for me, that's really what Seeking has done. So my third book, Seeking, has been my journey of raising my energy, sidestepping myself doubt, and aligning with my life's work. And the underpinning of how I was able to move down this path and do this work was getting in the present moment and being aware of what crossed my path and the energies I was experiencing, how I viewed money, the relationships I had with my family, how I viewed my work, what messages were coming to me in the forms of whispers. And I think for many of us, as we're starting this new calendar year, with also a huge astrological shift with Pluto going into Aquarius just last weekend for the next 22 years, outside of a small blip where it's going back into Capricorn in the fall of 2024, uh, our lives are shifting. We were in a very processed mindset with Capricorn since 2008. Every duck had to be in a row. We had to go about it a certain way. Now that Pluto is moving into Aquarius, we have a little bit more freedom to check things out. There'll be more advancements in all areas of life. And even we can move more smoothly in regards to innovation of how we go through our lives. So I really think for many of us, as you start to think about this year, as you start to think about what you want to throw your energy at, really looking at where you are right now. And I really task you with saying, how often am I in the present moment? How often am I sitting, paying attention, watching, observing, experiencing what comes my way? I was at a fabulous women's event yesterday in Las Vegas, and I had a late flight out, and I didn't listen to any music or any books like I usually do. I just was present. When I left the hotel, into the Uber, to the airport, I just was watching things, looking at the landscape, watching people, really being in the present moment. Because there are so many times in life that I don't even remember how I got from A to B or one location to the other. But this time, I just let me be in the present moment. Let me see what's happening around me. Not only was it very relaxing, but it was very insightful in the sense that I don't pay attention to everyone that crossed my path, and I don't watch what comes my way, even a TV clip or even a conversation next to me. And I had some giggles because just different messages about different people and what that got them fired up. I had a couple next to me that was so fired up about food, the flight, everything. And I was like, oh, I feel like I was there at one point in my life, but I've really worked to calm my nervous system down with cold plunging. I did cold plunging the day before, so that was really fun. Alyssa has taught me how to do that, and I was able to do that on my own in Vegas, which was great. I did 9 minutes, so I'm super proud of that. But it really has helped me with my nervous system. And I think every little thing we do, we should really be thinking about, is this adding to my fuel tank or is this taking it away? Because so many of us don't even remember what our fuel stations are or how to fill ourselves up. And I think if you start thinking about life as energy, like, is this positive energy? Is this negative energy? If it's positive energy, what do I love about it? If it's negative energy, what don't I like about it? How do I get myself out of this? How do I stop doing this? I have some charts in my first book, The Working Woman's GPS, where I monitor energy. Like, how does every project I touch make me feel? Do I like it or do I dread it? Because what I've learned through all the research that I've done for the last 15 years is that everything comes down to energy. And one of the reasons I work with so many energy practitioners is because sometimes I need help decoupling energy that's been in my body for a long time, or emotions that I've held on to, or stories that have defined who I was or who I thought I was. I have to decouple those. And so I bring you energy practitioners every week because I'm sharing the people that I'm working with that you might not find on your own. And my goal of Together We Seek That Online is to connect you to energy practitioners and people to help you assess your energy, maybe discard some energy that's not serving you, and even raise your energy. Because as you raise your energy, your outside starts to reflect your inside. Your outside starts to reflect your inside. Yes, this is true. When I was swimming in a mud puddle, I was in the wrong job. I was aligned to the wrong groups of people. I was doing things that were not inspiring. I wasn't really happy with where I was in my life. Everybody that I attracted for that, everybody that I attracted for that was in the same energy. And my friend Beckett shared with me, get rich from the energy you create. And I took years to really assess my inner stories, look at my self doubt, look at my relationships, friendships, job, what I do. And I really work on raising my energy and align to things that inspire me, excite me. Now, can that be everything? No, of course, it can't be everything, but it can be a lot of things. And I think for many of us, we feel victim to our choices. And as you enter this year, really thinking about your choices. You can download the Power of No chart off my website, which I'll include. You can assess where your commitments are, what type of energy it gives you, and does it align to where you are or where you're going. It's a fabulous 6 column chart, and it helps you assess how you spend your day and where your energy is at. Now, I could go on about some other great practitioners and that I've worked with, and so many of them I talk about here on the podcast. But I also share many of the stories inside Together We Seek Out online. And just last week, I had an amazing medium experience with Sandy. Sandy's out of Ireland. She gave me an absolute amazing reading. I buy a reading for myself every birthday. And just this week, I turned 51, which I'm super excited about because I feel like I'm finally at a space where all the hard work is starting to align. All my arrows are starting to go in the right direction. I get to spend so much time with all of you and really working on raising our energy and sidestepping our doubt is our life's work. Because if you can raise your energy and sidestep your self doubt, you create space for your whispers to come through so that you can align with what is calling you, which is often aligned to your gifts. And your gifts are why you're on the planet and the work you're supposed to be doing here that many would say your life's work. So, really thinking about how you're doing that. And if you need a guide of how to go step by step, I've created that for you in the book Seeking. Seeking is such an amazing tool because you can jump into any chapter. There's 74 key findings, and there are pages and pages in the appendix of energy practitioners I've worked with, books I've read, retreats I've gone to that have helped me raise my energy. So for those of you that are jumping into this year thinking, I got to shift something, I got to shift something. Maybe you work with one or two of the energy practitioners I talk about and talk with here on the podcast Together We Seek. Maybe you reach out to the medium I just worked with, Sandy in Ireland. Maybe you jump into the community Together We Seek online and you start connecting with some of the amazing light workers and people in the community that are living a life that they aspire to raise their energy and sidestep their self doubt. And there's so many people that are here to help you. All you need to do is really allow yourself to lean into what is calling you. So that might be a class, that could be a certification, that could be a solo trip, or even a retreat. I know that I'm already planning my retreats, not only that I'm hosting this year, but that I'm going to. So I have a dear friend, Jeanette, out of Breckenridge. She is an amazing energy practitioner and she is hosting a retreat in New Mexico in the end of April. So I'm going to be going there to learn Reiki. I'm always looking to learn new practices and then incorporating them into how I move through the world. So I have my own personal retreats I'm going to, and then I'm also working with energy practitioners to plan retreats for 2024. So really think about what is calling you. What are you leaning into? What is on your heart or on your mind? Or what messages are you getting? There's so many of us that get messages all different ways. Maybe a thought, maybe we hear something, maybe we see something, maybe we know something, all the clairs. How are you moving through life? What messages are coming your way? And how are you creating space? How are you creating space to lean into those messages? If you need a little help, you can always reach out to me. You can check out the book Seeking, or you can join me in the community. Together We Seek Down Online. We're having a live call next week. We're having a live call, so you can join me live there. And hopefully, you give me some feedback on what podcasts you like. Obviously, this YouTube channel is growing every day with so many amazing energy practitioners, light workers, and healers coming together. And I think for many of us, it's really about finding our tribe, and our tribe changes as we raise our energy. So if you think about today, what is one thing you can do to raise your energy? Some ideas might be, what is something that you can stop watching that might not be giving you the right energy, or somebody you stop talking to, or maybe don't call as often, or maybe a project, maybe you can wrap up something that you just really don't want to work on anymore. I think for many of us, as we mine our energy, we raise our life experience. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining us here and in the community. And if you've read the book Seeking, I would really appreciate a review, because I feel like so many of us are looking for ways to live life more fully. And I couldn't have done this had I not really leaned into what was calling me, and even lean into things that scare me, that maybe I didn't know much about. And so I very much am looking forward to interviewing many amazing practitioners, as you see from the lineup ahead. So many. So join me again here next Wednesday. I'll be live at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. In the meantime, I really hope that you give yourself a few minutes to be in the present moment, assess your energy, and align with what is calling you. So, with that, I'm signing off. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you here again next week. Bye bye.